Hey, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. I'm trying to get this sun on my ass. But I hope that y'all doing well. This your girl, Tonetta. I hope y'all doing well. Welcome to this morning's heat. Welcome to this video. I just want to, this is something that I actually, kind of the concept that I heard at church yesterday. Me and my partner, we're actually visiting churches again. I guess I put it that way here in Tucson. We visited the church yesterday, and this is one of or part of the message, I guess I put it that way, that the pastor was talking about. I just want to bring it to this video this morning because I know that he was relating it to God, of course, which I know that, but of course this goes across to me all aspects of life as well. But he was talking about how if you're living bitter, you cannot expect to be better. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, he didn't say in those words, those are my words, but like I said, it's the gist of what he said on yesterday. And like I said, this just takes me back to just knowing how, of course, I used to be unforgiving, resentful of some things. I guess back in the day, all that kind of stuff. Didn't want to forgive anybody for all the stuff they did or whatever they did or whatever it was. Neglecting to I guess, even think about the parts that I play in those situations as well. And of course, here I am bitter, upset, and angry and all this type of thing. And of course, I'm not able to move forward in the way that I think I should be able to move forward. I guess I put it that way as well. Like I said, that was a lesson that I had to learn. And like I said, I definitely want to share that with y'all this morning because I know there's other folks out there who may be living bitter and trying to, of course, become better. The perfect example, as y'all know, I talked about relationships. I still love relationships, and I talk about relationships a lot. But when it comes to, of course, men and women, so I guess I can relate it to women because I don't know all the men's side. I guess I put it that way besides what I've heard or what I've experienced. But I know there are some women out there. I've talked to some, to some of them, who have had a bad relationship back in the day, still angry, still bitter, still resentful of all the stuff that happened between the partner. Just say for instance that person cheated on them. Of course, like I said, the bitterness, the anger, the resentfulness, all those types of things still living in their heart, but they're still saying every day that they still want a good man. They want a good man. They want a good man. They want a good man. But you cannot get a good man until you deal with yourself first. Dealing with yourself and dealing with your own self-awareness, your own boundaries, all those types of things come into play. In order for, because I see it all the time, in order for you to, because I've lived through this, I've been cheated on in a marriage actually. He had 3 kids from what I found out. But like I said, in order for, I can still be bitter to this day and never had another relationship in my life. Or if I would have had other relationships, they probably would have been the same kind of relationship I had just left out of, being cheated on and all those types of things. Not having my boundaries in order. Because I'm so bitter and so angry and so upset about what happened, I'm going to treat everybody that mean way. I guess I put it that way. And it wasn't until I realized, like I said, I couldn't live like that. I wasn't going to be bitter, angry. My thing was, that was his choice. Yes, we were in a marriage. I understand that. Yes, that's fine. But that was still his choice to make. So if that was his choice, that's what he felt was best for himself, then you go ahead and do those things without me. I guess I put it that way. And that's how that situation went. I wasn't going to live bitter. Yes, I was all upset about it. Yes, I was upset for a few weeks. Of course, after that, I got myself together. I guess did some soul searching, healed from that. That was still healing. I guess from that to make sure I don't bounce back in those bitterness and that anger and all that resentment, all those types of things I had back in my early 20s. And like I said, I had to learn from those things. And I know doggone well that if I was still living angry, still living bitter, still living very, very resentful, that I probably wouldn't be in the relationships that I've had since then. I guess I put it that way as well. And I probably wouldn't have experienced the things in the relationships that I have experienced since then as well. One thing I do know when it comes to relationships, I don't care if it's with the partner that you want an actual relationship, romantic relationship with, or if it's with your parents, or if it's with your kids, or if it's whoever's with, your job, whoever's with. I know that when you're living bitter, because I used to live angry for a long time. I had a horrible temper, everything that goes along with that. Back in I'm pretty sure a lot of my life growing up. And of course, probably till I hit about 25, 30 years old. That's when I started working on myself. But I know that in all the things that has happened to me, if I chose to actually live, because that's a decision that you make, to live bitter, to live angry, to live resentful, there is a way that you can move forward. I guess I put it that way. It may not be in the way that you want, but I'm talking about moving forward in a way that you want and in a way that brings you inner peace. And like I said, I didn't have inner peace at all. And like I said, I'm thankful now that I have learned the skills to, of course, thanks to my therapist and thanks to me reading books and looking at videos online to learn how to, of course, control my anger, learn how to heal from the triggers that I had and all those types of things. Because I know that if I would have kept going down that same route, there is no type of way possible in some aspects that I probably wouldn't even been able to keep a job. Because I was just that angry, blew up and tried to hit somebody, anything else. That's the kind of person I was back in the day. And like I said, I know that if I would have kept going down that same route, I probably would have been in jail or dead somewhere, probably. And like I said, I know that's an extreme situation. My experience could be an extreme situation I guess to many. But taking back to the relationship, romantic relationship is the same type of thing. If you're living bitter and wanting to have a better relationship or a better life, a better anything, and you're still talking about you want a man, you want a good man, all you're going to do is run that man away because you're so bitter and angry inside. No man wants or no woman, either one, wants an angry and bitter person all the time. There's always something wrong. There's always something going on. You don't ever do this, and I don't like this guy. Just the whole time. Nobody wants to live through that. That's not peaceful for them either, I'm sure. My main thing is inner peace is something that we have to actually work towards. It's not going to just come because we said, I want inner peace. Once we figure out how to learn the skills, learn the tactics, the tools to, of course, to let go of that bitterness, let go of the resentfulness, let go of I guess most of the triggers, because I mean, nobody's trigger free, I'm sure, but you can always lessen the impact of those triggers on you. You can always do that. But like I said, you have to take it upon yourself to do so. That's why I was sharing my story. Like I said, I had to definitely do so in my own life. I know how impactful that is. I know that because I've seen it in my own life and I've seen it in the lives of others as well. And like I said, that was something that I had to learn because I know that when I first started my first job working for the state of Missouri in the foster care system, I was a foster care case manager. And I know that because I was still having the bad temper. I was trying to calm it down as much as I could in order for me to work and that kind of thing. If I did not, I would not be able to have a job. I wouldn't even be able to keep that job. I can tell you that. Because the first time somebody done said something and went off and I done went off and got upset and all those types of things, it would have just been over. I can tell you that already. And like I said, I had to heal from those things. My heart first and my head second. I guess I put it that way. And like I said, that's why I'm bringing this video to y'all this morning. You can't be bitter and expect to get better. I don't care what it is you're doing. I don't care if it's a relationship, a business, having kids, whatever it is, getting a house, whatever it is. You have to learn how to deal with your heart first. Yes, but we can always think and overthink because I used to overthink all the time. So I know how the overthinking goes. We can think about the who's, how's, what's, and all this type of stuff all day long. What skills I need, what tactics I need, what tools I need. But once you get by yourself, and I mean by yourself with nobody else around you for at least several days or a week, start dealing with the stuff that comes up for you. I did that as well several times, actually. How else are we going to deal with our heart besides getting alone? Yes, we have to work with other people. I understand that of course, to heal your heart. I understand that. But at first, it all starts with you. It started with me as well. Starting with me getting quiet by myself to figure out what am I so angry about all the time. Like I said, I'm thankful now. I know this is November, the month of thanks. Like I said, I definitely know that. I'm thankful now that I don't have all that anger. I'm not all that bitter. I'm not all that resentful. All these things going on anymore. I love that I'm not. And like I said, I'm definitely thankful for that. But like I said, there was something that I had to grow into. And I had to learn to grow into. It didn't just happen. I had to do the work behind all those things. And like I said, I know that if you're bitter, you're not going to get better. I know some folks don't want to hear that. I don't care. That's fine. But we all know, and you know deep down in your heart as well, in your brain, I'm sure as well, that if you're bitter, you're angry, you're resentful, you're unforgiving, any of those things, that your life's gonna be hard as hell. Because all the things that you are wishing to not do or are trying your best to not do and sweep up under the carpet and to forget about them, but it impacts your life every day. It's going to impact every relationship you have every day as well. Be it a person that you know, person you don't know, a job that you have, a business partner that you have, your kids, your family, whoever it is going to impact all the relationships that you have every single day. You may not understand that, but there's probably folks around you who probably don't don't like your attitude at all. Let me spit this gum out, y'all. Seeing how you come into work with a nasty attitude every day, thinking that you run the office and that you're the boss of everybody. Nobody wants to be around that. That's not peaceful. There's bullying for one too, but I have seen people like that a lot actually. Working in the social service field, I see that a lot. There's folks who, of course, I'm sure if you have a partner, whoever this video is for, I guess I put it that way. If you have a partner that you're living with, even if you ain't even gotta be living with them, a partner that you have, every time something comes up, every time something goes wrong, it's always that person's fault. It's always that person doing something, and you don't take any responsibility at all for anything. Because that person shouldn't have did that to you. That's why you did this. Nobody wants to live like that. You may not realize the behaviors that you put out towards everybody else, but people know how you act. And like I said, a lot of times we, of course, walk around with this chip on our shoulder. Like I said, the bitterness that we have and all these types of things because of all the things that happened in the past to us that has built up over the years that we did not deal with. All those things impact every relationship that we have. Another example, if you have kids, you're one who, of course, is bitter, angry because of all the stuff that's happened to you in the past. That's exactly how you're going to treat those kids, like they always do something wrong, like they always are the scum of the earth. Like you want to control everything that they do because you can't control your own life. That's how I've seen that happen many a times from a lot of different parents, actually. I worked with parents for about 20 years, actually, almost 20 years. I see it all the time, and not just professionally, but in my personal life as well. Treating your kids any kind of way because that's how you feel on the inside. The same thing you do to your friends. They supposed to respect you all the time, but you don't respect them. You go off on them, say little mean, cruel things, and say, oh, I'm just playing. They can't trust you because you don't keep your word. All those things come into play when we talking about dealing with our own ish, our own bitterness, our own resentment, our own unforgiving spirit. All those types of things deal with the heart. The inability to love somebody even from a distance because they've done you wrong in the past. You don't have to have a relationship with the people. You don't have to have a relationship with nobody. But you can always love somebody from a distance to keep your heart pure. I guess I put it that way. And your heart open. I guess I put it that way as well. Yes, it's not an easy thing to do. And yes, I'm pretty sure you're probably thinking, oh, why should I do that? Because they did this to me. That's something you have to deal with. Get in that silence, get in that room by yourself and work through these issues. That's what I had to do many a times. And that's what helped me. Yes, I journal all this stuff. I got some of the journals now still. The ones I had back in my 20s, I couldn't tell you what they had. I guess somebody got a good book, I guess, or some good gossip or whatever the case you want to call it. So I have no idea where they at right now. But still in all, getting by yourself and figuring out what's going on and why you're having these hurtful kind of feelings that come up, that's the best thing that you can do for yourself. Like I said, that's what I had to do for myself starting back in my 20s. I wish somebody would have told me back when I was a teenager or early preteen that these are things that I needed to do for myself. I wouldn't have went through this not whole life, but a lot of my life being angry, being all upset, being unforgiving, being bitter, all these types of things. And seeing that when I had all those behaviors that I was not getting better at all. Yes, I can still move ahead. Good morning, DJ. I hope you're doing well. And like I said, I could do some things well and still move forward in a certain aspect, but not fully because I was still upset, bitter, angry, hurt, heart, everything else, and not dealing with anything. Like I said, I wish somebody would have told me that back in my teens or my early preteens or at least 10 years old. I guess I put it that way. I don't think people or my parents knew anything about that. Most people probably didn't know anything about that back then. But now since we have access to Google, the internet, YouTube, all this kind of stuff, now you see all these things a lot. Or for the last, 10, 15 years, I don't know, something like that. But like I said, at some point we have to learn that and have to realize that if you're bitter, you cannot get better, y'all. Now, I know I've harped on that because Lord Jesus, y'all. That is the morning video this morning. And like I said, that's what I heard at the church yesterday in some aspects. And the pastor was also talking about, as far as because I've harped on this before and talked about this before, as far as your own self-awareness. And like I said, I know these are all things that I've talked about before, and that's fine. I'm glad he talked about those because that was, like I said, that was something that let me know that I need to make sure I don't forget these things. And like I said, self-awareness has always been important to me. Even though I had no idea that was a word back when I was growing up. I know it now, probably within the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years maybe. I don't know. Something like that. I know there's a term called self-awareness. Like I said, I've taught on it before. I've talked about it before for the last several years. I know there's a term like that now, meaning that, of course, know thyself. That's the first person that we need to know, not our friends, not our family, not our partners, not anybody else, but ourselves. What makes us have all these triggers, or what makes us become bitter, all those types of things. We have to know ourselves, our ins and outs first before we can deal with others, y'all. Yes, there's probably a lifelong lesson for all of us, I'm sure. But in some aspects, like I said, we have to take on that task first. If not, like I said, you're going to have a life full of hurt, the same kind of hurt over and over again. I don't care if it's dealing with a romantic partner, a job, your kids, whoever's dealing with, family, friends, whoever's dealing with. I saw a post before I got on this video. I don't even know who the person is, but somebody on Facebook. It was a post about, it was from a woman. I saw that. I'm not going to say the name because I forgot the name anyway, but it was a post talking about, they're asking for a friend, but was saying, have you ever had a good friendship where you didn't have to give all yourself and you get nothing in return? It was something like that. But I guess they must have never had one. And they said that they were asking for a friend, which usually when you say that, it's for yourself. You're just trying to find some answers for yourself. I guess I put it that way. And like I said, that takes me back to just wondering what that woman had been through, whether she has healed her heart from anything or what. I really don't know. I mean, I don't know her. I've never seen her name pop up before. That was the first time I ever saw her name. But like I said, just reading that post just takes me back to this same conversation. Is there bitterness in her heart? Is there unforgiveness in her heart? I have no idea. But along the line somewhere, at least one person in your life should have been a good friend. That, of course, is a give and take relationship, or what is it called? Unconditional loving relationship. And not just a take. And you're giving your all and getting nothing in return. And like I said, that's just another example. But like I said, I'm sure you can see it all over the internet all day long. I'm sure folks asking different questions or saying different comments and that kind of thing. But it all goes back to us being aware of ourselves, y'all. Loving ourselves, having that self-awareness, making sure that we're caring for ourselves, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And that means the heart, not just the mind and all the things, the overthinking. I used to overthink all the time, but I'm talking about the heart as well. They ain't gonna say I don't care about healing your mind, but it starts with the heart first. Whatever's in your heart, you need to sit by yourself and spill all this stuff out. I don't care if it's sexual abuse. I don't care if you've been cheated on, whatever it is. Domestic violence, drug use, any of those things. Sit by yourself and figure out why you're doing what you're doing. Figure out those things. That's the first step in any kind of healing situation. I guess I put it that way as well. And to also not just healing, but to deal with your bitterness, your anger, your resentment, all those types of things. That's always the first step. To sit with yourself and figure out why you do what you do. And with that, y'all, I'm going to get my butt off here because I know I got to get into work this morning too. But I hope that this message, and good morning, Sharitha sis, thank you for tuning in as well. But like I said, I hope that this message reached somebody this morning, and definitely feel free to share this message. It's definitely fine with me. I have no problems with that. But if you listen to this, like I said, this may be a trigger for some people. I'm pretty sure you may get upset. Oh, F her. I'm going to leave her alone. I ain't talking to her, but block her. That's fine too. But for some there who are for me, I guess I put it that way. They know who they are. This message is definitely for you. But like I said, you definitely have to deal with the heart, not just the mind. You have to deal with your heart too. That's where bitterness and resentment and all that kind of stuff comes from. Yes, we can fabricate it all in our head, that kind of thing. But it starts in the heart, y'all. When our feelings are hurt. When somebody has made us upset, or whichever the case may be. When someone has abused and used us. All those things start in our heart, y'all. And over time, they just compound and compound and compound, where the bitterness sets in, the resentfulness set in, the anger sets in, all those things set in. And in order for us to deal with that, we have to start with the heart first, y'all. Like I said, you cannot be bitter and expect to get better. So y'all have a great day. Peace out. I hope that y'all enjoyed this message. And like I said, feel free to share this with somebody that you know. So peace out, y'all. Have a good one.